100 club last week and 2 top captaincy options blank this week. Welcome back to FPL. Hi guys, I'm FPL Nymfria and welcome back to the home of FPL videos. Another cracker of a week in the Premier League with some interesting highs and interesting lows. Let's take a look at how I got on in Game Week 2 before looking ahead to my Game Week 3 team selection. We called for it last week and Sanchez delivered. He got us our first clean sheet of the season against Watford for 6 points. Happy days. Moving on to my defence, and it was much the same with the Liverpool boys delivering. Trent and Tsimikas bringing in the love once again. They have been fantastic these first 2 weeks. From his clean sheet, 1 assist and 3 bonus points. 2 big chances created. He looked great on the weekend and I'm very, very happy to have him in my team, especially given how expensive he is right now. Tsimikas matching Trent, but getting 1 point less because of the 1 less bonus point for 11 points. 4 attempted assists. 4 people. That's amazing for a stand-in player that we never thought we'd even have in our teams at the beginning of pre-season. I mean this in the nicest possible way for Robbo, but it's such a shame he's back already. Would have loved another few weeks out of Tsimikas, it has to be said. Shaw was disappointing again, no clean sheet or return. Somehow, the FPL gods managed to give us 2 bonus points. We don't challenge it, we just accept it. And we move on in happiness because, you know, we needed those 2 bonus points from him, really, didn't we? Let's be honest. So in midfield, it was pretty decent considering the 2 most expensive players blanked for me. Raf was back, baby. Great goal against Everton. 6 shots, 2 on target. Man is trying hard for us and you love to see it. Was very, very happy with his 7 points this game week. As I just said, Salah and Bruno both blanked in the middle of the park. I almost switched my captaincy to Bruno Saturday morning. Sometimes the deadline just doesn't come fast enough and you really start to overthink everything. And suddenly I was thinking, Bruno is a much better option against Southampton. Why am I not going for this? But thankfully, I just went with the crowd on this. It's weird to say it paid off when Bruno didn't get the clean sheet and picked up the yellow card, meaning Salah got 3 points to his 1. But you know what? It's an absolutely hollow victory. I don't think anyone should be lauding anything over going Salah or Bruno for captaincy. I mean, they both blanked in the end. Greenwood, on the other hand, was fantastic for me. 5 shots, 3 in the box and 1 on target for his goal and 3 bonus points for 10 towards my team total. He also had an attempted assist. Really hoping he gets to stay in this team and continues doing his thing for me because I'm so happy with him right now. Moving on to my forwards, Tony was the only letdown here again. That said, his stats are great. Same amount of shots as Greenwood with 5, 2 on target and 4 in the box. Seems so unlucky not to have got something in Game Week 2. Let's have a little think about this a little bit more in my Game Week 3 preview in just a second. Ings continues to give. He's not high up there on the stats and shots, but he's clinical and my word was that a wonder strike by him. A glorious way to add 8 points to my team total. Proper flair from Ingsy there. But Antonio, again, man on fire. Highest scoring forward in the game right now. 7 shots, 5 in the box and 4 on target for a goal and an assist this game week for 16 points. He's just loving life right now and I'm loving him. Like last week, I could have had more points if I had played Soufal over somebody like Tony, as Soufal got an assist, but I usually side with my attackers unless I really hate their fixtures or they're underperforming. And Leicester had looked great up until this game week, so it felt like the right call at the time. So with all of that, I got 83 points. points, more than happy with that. I would have been happy with anything over 60 this game week, it has to be said, as that is my target for most game weeks. It keeps it consistent, means the points are rolling in, and hopefully that means a good finish. So 60 points is my benchmark. Absolutely smashed that this week and last week, so thankfully it gives me a leeway for any horrible game weeks to come in the future, which will inevitably happen. But I am absolutely over the moon with 83 points, no chips used, and a captaincy blank, so that's pretty good in a week where your captain blanks. Nice green arrow, and I'm currently sat at 118,862. And my three top scorers were all the points: Antonio with 16, Trent Happiness with 12 points, and likely a goodbye haul from Simacas with 11 points. Cheers, Simmy. Moving on to game week 3, and this is how I'm currently lining up. I don't dislike this team. It's nice to feel like I set my team up in a way at the start of the season that has meant that even now I'm lucky enough to not have to make a transfer if I don't want to. So yesterday my thought process was to sell Simacas, especially after his price rise, and bank that cash and free up a Liverpool spot whilst I can, then roll into the international break with eyes to Lukaku in the future. This transfer, as you could see, would likely be Livramento, mainly because he seems the most nailed out of Duffy and Amati, but much lower ceiling, unfortunately. He wouldn't be brought in to be played, let's be absolutely honest here. He would just come on to sit and warm the bench and to be called on if absolutely necessary. So that's one consideration for this game week. Obviously, the plus side of this would mean I would get 2 free transfers in the international break. But then West Ham played and I got another look at Benrahma. If Antonio is on fire, then Benrahma is absolutely fueling it. Guy is on form and on point. Clinical as hell, 2 shots, both on target, 1 goal and 1 assist this game week. He seems almost unavoidable at the moment. Not to mention the fire sales for him as FPL managers flock to get him in their teams. But how do I fit him in? Well, Rafinha to Benrahma would allow me to still carry 2 free transfers forward, but Burnley though conceded 2 goals in each of their 2 opening games, and Raf's fixtures look really nice coming up, and his stats are good, as I said earlier on in the video, so I'm not necessarily keen on this particular transfer. I'm trying to look ahead with my team, consider what players a lot of FPL managers will be after in the coming weeks, and at the moment, with Raf delivering on stats and his good fixtures up and coming, as long as international break doesn't put scuppers on that, then I really would like to keep him in my team for now. So my other way is this, and it is Tony down and Brownhill up, changing my formation and going for a 3-5-2. If I go for Benrahma, this is likely the way I will do it, but there's international chaos at the moment, as I alluded to, with Rafinha, and nobody seems to know for sure if Benrahma, Antonio and Rafinha have to isolate on return from this international duty. This could see me without 3, maybe 4, depending on Salah, players out in game week 4, which is not ideal. So I have held off on Monday night and taken the 0.1 rise hit on Benrahma to think on this move a little bit more and see if we get a little more information from West Ham, like we did with Liverpool, saying that they won't let him go if he has to isolate when he returns. So hopefully West Ham will let us know whether or not they're going to let him go based on the current restrictions. Of course, we won't know about the government restrictions in the UK until Wednesday. It's either a case of risking it, going early if I really want Benrahma in my team, if his price looks to be going up again tonight and Tony's down. However, if I can hold and it looks as if the price is going to stay steady for one more night, then I will try and hold off until Wednesday to get as much information as possible before making this move. This season, I am really trying to sit on my hands, trying not to be reactive to every single bandwagon out there. Now, to me, Benrahma looks like a great pick going forward. He has really tasty fixtures in the next 2 if he is around. Now, it has already cost me 0.1, 0.2 already. You know, he's already gone up twice. He'll likely go up again this week, I would have thought. He's so popular at the moment. But I really have to weigh up if getting one game out of him and potentially losing him when he comes back after the international break is worth the extra money. And that's one thing I am working very hard on doing this season, is not trying to be swayed too much by price rises. Now, his form is on fire. We cannot dispute that. So in that respect, I am happy to get him in, but I want to wait on this international news before settling on a final decision, because it does mean me making 2 transfers, which means using both of my transfers before international break. So should any problems crop up coming out the other side of international break, whether that's a player's meant to be back after international break but they test positive for COVID, for instance, or they pick up an international injury whilst they're away, there's a lot that could happen without having those transfers in the bank. So there's a lot riding on this Benrahma move, even though it looks easy on paper. It really wasn't, and I did agonize very late into the morning, Monday morning, on whether I should make that transfer, and I decided to hold off and let the price go just this once. At the moment, I can still afford it because I'm dropping Tony so low. It would leave me 0.3 in the bank currently, but if he rises anymore, obviously with Tony a potential risk to drop, I could be risking not being able to afford him. So there's a lot riding on this particular transfer, and this is the puzzle piece that is FPL. Lukaku, Mount, Pogba, DCL and Ali are all on my current watch list, and players I may look to move in instead of Benrahma depending on this international news. Captaincy is currently on Bruno at the moment. Wolves have conceded in both their matches, but not by a whole lot, and Bruno was unlucky in game week 2, I thought. I am seriously considering Antonio though, or his higher ceiling in points and his form. Fix also recommends it. Can lightning strike 3 times though? Really? Can it? Who are you captaining? Let me know in the comments below. And lastly, moving on to the trending transfers this week. At this stage, I cover the trending transfers using Fantasy Football Fix data. So let's take a look at the players in and out ahead of game week 3. Of the goalkeepers, Reyes is the trendiest goalkeeper in ahead of game week 3 with 63 plus 1,000 purchases. Lloris, after keeping 2 clean sheets in his opening games, is pushing to be the trendiest with the same amount of buys. Martinez is the most transferred out goalkeeper still with over 69,000 sales. The next highest out this week is Schmeichel with 37 plus 1,000 managers getting rid of the Leicester goalkeeper. Of the defenders, White is still leading the way for sales out this week with over 232,000 managers jumping off of the Arsenal man. Shaw is the second most transferred out due to 2 blanks with 143 plus 1,000 sales. Tsimikas is the trendiest defender in still with 263,000 plus purchases, everyone wanting a bit of the cheap Liverpool defender despite Robertson's return. Duffy is the second highest defender in after his goal with over 256,000 purchases. In midfield, Benrahma has set the transfer market alight after his goal and assist 2 weeks in a row. Over 441 plus 1,000 FPL managers have bought him in already. Pogba is also highly bought this week with over 199,000 buys. Salah is the most switched out midfielder this week with over 108 plus 1,000 sales. Saka is just behind him with over 104,000 FPL managers selling on the Arsenal man. Up front, Tony is the trendiest forward out so far this week owing to his blank in the first 2 game weeks, with 261 plus 1,000 managers moving on the Brentford man. Iheanacho is still the second most transferred out forward with over 141,000 sales. Antonio is unsurprisingly the trendiest forward in this week after his 2 goals and an assist with 450 plus 1,000 managers buying already. And now that he's kicked a ball for Chelsea and scored, Lukaku is the second trendiest forward bought ahead of game week 3 with over over 333,000 purchases. And that's it, you guys. Thanks for watching. Please check out my sponsors of this video, fantasyfootballfix.com, and yet again, if you'd like to help me reach 7k before the end of the season, my lucky number, then please do like, share, hit that notification bell and subscribe for more FPL videos. Oh, and if you'd like to vote for me in the Football Content Awards, I'm now a finalist again, and you can do so in the description below. Thank you so much, Nymfam. Until next time, Nymfria out.